This is the Carbon Creek 0-30 mile railroad I'm currently building. I'll take you through a layout tour here. This is the location of a transfer facility where it transfers coal into a standard gauge main line, Shadowton Ridge. The trees are made from bark. I still have a lot of ground cover and shrubbery to put in here. Here's a large 4-foot long by 2-foot tall trestle. This is going to be the engine facility coming up here. If you continue on, you'll enter into the helix. The train will travel for 45 feet, and it'll come out the tunnel. This area here is called Blasted Rock. It comes around the bend to a passing siding up through the little hamlet of Glen Hollow. It's a coal town area here where the miners live. It continues around the bend. It goes across another creek. See the background, it looks like the creek continues on. I've still got some work to do in this area. Overall, the railroad's got a lot of work left to do, a lot of scenery. You've got to put bushes and shrubs in between the nooks and crannies so everything looks right. We used real tree bark instead of plaster, the conventional method of rocks. I think it adds a lot of detail to the scene. The color's right, the look is right. But anyways, come back down here to the first level where we went across that big trestle. We're going to veer to the right on the main line through the passing siding. In the background, there's a coal mine that's going to be located here, a single-track coal mine. This is the area where the trains can work around the trains. Passing siding, there's a water tower here, there's a pump house that still needs left to build, but this little section here is a fold-out. It's on hinges and it rolls away from this door behind me, which is a shop. That way if I want to come in and out of the shop all the time, I can just lift this section up here and roll this piece out and come in and out all day long to work on the layout. This here is a portable layout. It was called the Kettletown and Black Fork. It's on YouTube under K&B Mine Run. You might want to check it out. Scenery's different. It's fall scenery. Basically, the whole railroad is all hand-laid track and scratch-built structures. I buy very little when it comes to structures. I try to save money, just like on the tree bark. Things are expensive enough. This is the overall view, what you're going to see when you walk into the train room. You come down the main aisle. The main aisle is probably about anywhere 36 to 40 inches wide. It's like 6 feet right in this area here. This is basically what you see. Upper lower level. Well, there's still got a lot of work left to do on it, but I'll keep you updated in later videos so you can kind of follow what's going on. Thanks for watching. Hello folks, I'm here to show you how to do rocks the cheapest way you can possibly do it. I've been doing the hobby for model railroading for about 22 years, and I've done various methods from plaster to whatever's out there. I found the cheapest way of doing it is collecting bark off of old trees. They kind of look similar, the stratifications of sedimentary rock. I don't peel them off of live trees. I do use dead logs. I'm here to show you a little bit of colorations that you can do to kind of enhance them to look a little bit more like real rocks. And what I'll do is once everything's dry, I'll take a hot glue gun and I'll use hot glue and I'll glue them to the layout, and then by the time you put dirt around them and everything, it looks like the real thing. So I'm going to show you here an example. I'm not real sure what type of bark this is. It may be a maple. It's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. It's an older piece of wood. It's probably close to being dried out. What I do is, before I actually start this process, is I take a pine salt and water and mix it together, and I disinfect anything that might be in the wood, whether it's insects or fungus or whatever, to kill any of that. I'll take white water or gray water, and what it is just a mix of white paint and black paint and some water, and I'll make a bath for it. And I'll put it in a coffee can or whatever you want to use, a dust tub or whatever. But what I'll do is I'll just simply dip it. If it's small enough, you can dip it inside the can, like so. basically you just set it out to dry, let it flat in here. It's kind of bubbly right now, but it'll eventually change color, and it starts to take a little more gray effect as it starts to dry. If it's not gray enough, then just dip it again and let it dry again. And, I got different types of rock here. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of bark this is, but I'll just dip this in here. Most of this stuff resembles sedimentary rock. I'll just set it out flat. Now if you get a big piece of rock, what you want to do, you want to lay it out on probably a towel and spray it with some water, because you're going to be brushing it on, and if you don't wet it down, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of spotting on your tree bark. So I'll just take the brush, dip it in the paint, and I'll just brush it over, just let it soak in. That simple. Now another interesting type of bark that I found. You'll just set that aside. Right now you can still see a lot of the gray, but if you set it aside, let it dry, it will come out fine. Another type of bark, I think this is more native to Indiana. This may be an actual walnut or maple. I could be wrong. I don't really know my trees that well. I just know rocks. But anyways, this might be small enough to dip in here. I'll go ahead and dip it in. Now what this works good for, this type of rock, is a slate. You'll see a lot of it in creek beds in the Appalachia area, and if you lay it flat on the side and you work the dirt in around it, it'll resemble exactly like slate. So I'll lay that off to the side. I try to get familiar or similar rock styles here. This is kind of a dried out piece I've had for quite a while. It's small enough to dip. And if you look close, you can see all the stratifications resemble slate or limestone or something of that nature. Especially if you're modeling the Appalachian area, which I seem to be modeling. This seems to work pretty good. The only thing you have to be careful of is when you're blending your different types of rocks. You have to be careful how you blend them in. The colorations have to look right. If you mix the colors, things might look too spotty or too contrast to one. So if you were to take this rock here and to lay it against this rock, you can see a big difference of color. If you're going to lay them out that way, you need to make sure that they look as if they're layered through different what would be the example, period of years, erosion and that sort of thing. That's basically all there is to it. Like I said, once you let them set out and dry, probably overnight, to make sure all the moisture's out. Maybe it can take 2 days, depends on the air quality of your house or where you're driving or whatever. But basically, you let them set out there and they're ready to hot glue, and you just throw some dirt around them, and they're ready to go. So, thanks for watching.